What's better than a funky guitar riff? How about two at the same time? Yep, a 2-for-1. I'm going to show you guys how to combine a funky bass note riff that won't stop, that's hypnotic, along with a driving right hand chank straight from the bayous of South Louisiana. Stay tuned. Here we go. All right, Terrio back at you. I'm back from the UK, and thanks to all the new subs last week. And yeah, it was a great tour, and I've got some time to work on other projects. So bringing you guys this video today. Hey, before I get into the gist of the lesson, I just want to ask you, if you haven't subbed already, please do so. I notice on the YouTube analytics, a lot of guys watch the whole video week after week. They don't even sub. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. That's my motivation. That's all I'm asking you for. Help me build the channel. All right. All right, before I get to the lesson, let me share a brief little story with you. Hopefully you find this interesting. It's the gist and the inspiration for today's lesson. So I just got back from tour, like I was saying, a couple days ago, and it was waiting for me. So last year, I got inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, and this is my reward. I finally got it. It took a while. That's what Dr. John used to call his Grammys, his musical rewards. So anyway, it's a big honor for me to be in the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. And I'm in some really amongst some legends in big company in there. I don't take it lightly. And a lot of them I worked with that are represented on here. So there's Dr. John, and I'd worked on his last record. I co-produced it and wrote some of the songs with him. And Aaron Neville, of course, and Joel Sonier, who was one of the most famous Cajun singers ever. And I co-produced his record, won a Grammy for it. And then there's my solo record, The Grease Factor, is represented on here. Nice letter from the governor to make it official. So anyway, that is a nice little thing, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So now that we're in the Bayou mood, let's get to the lesson. Okay, so what I was doing on that intro, what I'm doing is I'm combining a bass part with the kind of chank thing. This is coming from Zydeco. That's why that's the South Louisiana reference in my little Hall of Fame story. So yeah, Zydeco, briefly, is not really the same as Cajun music. It is different. It's just like Creole and Cajun cuisine are different. People confuse them, but no, it's different. Zydeco actually is French for snap bean, and it's got more of a pop to it. It uses what's called a frottoir, which is a washboard. It doesn't generally use fiddle. It generally uses the big push button, the Tex-Mex accordion, the chromatic. And basically Cajun music is the more folk version of that sort of music. It's a triangle, a little French accordion, diatonic, acoustic guitar, that kind of thing, fiddle. So they're not really the same. Doesn't mean anything for guitar playing, but it's just a little thing I thought I'd throw in. So what I'm doing is I'm emulating that frottoir with my right hand, the washboard. And before we get into the left hand, the right hand is just scratching. There's something you could do to just get the beat right away. You just play an E7 chord. That's just a straight up Melbay E7. E, lift up your ring finger there, get that flat 7, and add the D on top with your pinky, 3rd fret, 2nd string. So a lot of this is in the left hand, and what I'm doing is so my right hand is just doing straight 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E. And then what you do is you squeeze your left hand on the and of each beat. So 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and try to internalize that pulse first. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. So that's what I'm doing with my left hand. I'm squeezing on those beats. In Cajun music, Joel Sonia used to call that the chop. Now I'm playing through a dirty Marshall, but on an acoustic guitar, he would call that the chop. And that is step one to getting that rhythm together. You could just practice that. So what I'm doing on my right hand is muting with the pad, and the amount of mute you put with the pad of your hand will give it more staccato feel. So check it out. All right, now I'm not doing like just I am doing straight 16ths, but I'm finessing it a little more. I'm putting like a little hump in it. Accent 1E and 2E and I know it doesn't sound like much, but that's what I'm doing. And then I translate it here to an E7 voicing. It's just a straight up like another Mel Bay. It's my favorite, one of my favorite voices. C7 down here, you just move it up to E7. So my ring finger's playing the 7th fret 5th string. My middle finger's playing the 6th fret 4th string, the G sharp. My pinky's playing the flat 7. That's a D. 7th fret 3rd string. First finger's playing the 5th fret 2nd string. And an open E. So try that squeeze and release with this voicing. And then what I'm doing is the melody of the tune. This is loosely based off of Hot Tamale Baby, Clifton Chenier, who's the king of Zydeco. Check out some of his stuff. And that's where I got this from. There's variations of it. It's sort of the Mustang Sally of the Zydeco world. Everybody plays it. The melody is... Let me break down the bass part first in bass, the bass register. So what I'm doing is I'm using my ring finger. This is coming out of E minor pentatonic, 7th fret 6th string, the B, and I'm going 1E and going to that D, 5th fret 5th string, back to the B, then to the E. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, and then you play the D and the B again. So 1 and 2 and 3, and then the last part is 5th fret the A, 7th fret B, go to the 3rd fret, slide up a half step to the major 3rd, open E. So slowly. 3 and 4. And once you get that, work on the bass first, then slowly incorporate that chank. It's all in the left hand, okay? That scratch is coming constant. It's in the left hand. So you can hear different permutations of what I'm doing. It's never really the same. That's basically what I'm doing. Now you could try that with an E9 chord. You'll only be able to use the top part. That's trickier to me, but it sounds cool. You could do that. And then that little melody is coming out of E minor pentatonic. By the way, this is in my book, New Orleans Funk Guitar, this example. And then if you're interested, that book is for sale. You can get an autographed copy or whatever, but it's in there if you want to check it out more. This is more of like I'm kind of, extrapolating on the idea. And I'm working on a course right now that all this stuff is going to be in. And so I want to save some of it for my course. But yeah, that's a cool one to play. You could also, there's another variation where you do G major to an E minor. Those kind of grooves straight up from the bayou, that is from South Louisiana, no doubt. And I use it in different aspects of my playing, like even playing with some of these pop stars I play with, or playing on sessions that has nothing to do with that kind of music. I find myself using some of these permutations, I guess is the word. It's a big word to use, but some of this influence definitely finds its way into my work, and I use it on acoustic guitar. This stuff sounds great on acoustic guitar if you wanted to play these examples as well. All right, hey, that's it for today. Thank you for all your support and your likes and subscribes and your shares and the blah, blah, blah. I'll see you next time. Terrio out.